Good evening, everyone. Happy November. The time is going swiftly. I am Reverend Rob, and this is our Wednesday evening spin into stillness. That point in the week that we make a few moments, carve out some time in our day to get in touch with our deep self. That deep self that I consider our divine self, that voice that speaks to us with the truth that only it can speak to us, with the truth that only we understand. It's not a lot of time. And if you're here and you are here on a regular basis, you carved out that time, you've made a meditation practice for yourself. It doesn't have to be every week. It can be how often you need it or how often you feel like it's something that is of value to you. But no matter what, whenever you are here, you are part of the community. We are all part of this community, choosing to address a question that we may have for something very, very personal, but that we would like to uh, expand on or bolster with the strength of other souls present for the experience. So thank you for that. Thank you for agreeing to share yourself, however way you choose to do it, in whatever way you choose to do it, whenever or wherever you choose to do it from. So we allow ourselves to be prompted, to be inspired, to be led and guided. First of all, by setting an intention, which is something I would like to do now. So we just have a moment to jot down a couple of words that will prompt us, that will offer us some focus in how we proceed this evening. So we could intend to gain clarity from something going on in our lives, from our meditation, or to be steered in the right direction, or to have something deepen for us that we would like to deepen in a relationship, for example. It's all up to you. This is your meditation. And whatever intention you set is the one that is yours for the evening. So let's do that now before we move forward, because then we can, no matter what we do, we continue adding to fulfilling that intention with whatever we do from this point forward. So let's just breathe, and you can jot your intention down on a little slip of paper that I always, little post-it note, or I always cut up some leftover note paper or construction paper, whatever works best for you. But again, just a few words, and you can also jot it down in a meditation journal, for instance, so that you can keep track of the intentions that you've set every week, so that you can see the progress you're making, or if you can see there's a pattern that's happening when you meditate, when you put forth the question or ask for guidance, and then receive that guidance, and then of course implement that guidance throughout the week after we're done here. So that's, again, up to you if you choose to make that journal. The reason that I'd like us to write it down is because if we were in person, I would gather all of your little slips of paper. I would encourage you to write your intention down, and then we would gather them and send them off into a burning bowl of flames, just as a ritualistic exclamation point to that intention, so that the universe is knowing what is going on with us and is responding, and we are affirming that this is where we would like to be this week. So because we're not in person, I write on one of these slips of paper the words, everyone's intentions, and then gather the energy as we meditate, and then as a proxy, light it up and send it out as we would if it were everybody throwing their intentions into the burning bowl. But because I'm here, the miracle of technology allows us to gather in this non-physical space for an out-of-body experience, I like to call it. And then I can gather that energy that you would have written down, that you would have put on that slip of paper had we been in person, and we'll send it off into the flames. So with that in mind, just a couple of words, jot it down. If you don't have any paper in front of you, that's fine too. You can kind of fake write it on your hand, just to symbolically or metaphorically give it some punch, give it some affirmation, and give it some statement. So let's do that now. I've written down one down for me, and I'm going to write the beautiful words, everyone's intentions. And I'm going to show you that right here. Everyone's intentions. We're going to throw this one into the bowl. And again, it's going to gather energy as we meditate tonight, and we will send it out and have it returned to us. All right, so set the intention. If you're new, if you're joining us for the first time, or maybe you haven't joined us in a while, you just have to focus, just have to breathe and allow yourself to have the courage and have the strength and have the accountability to set it for yourself. I know I'm not one that likes extensive outlines or schedules, or in college, I didn't like syllabi. I didn't like looking at a whole outline of something for a long time to come ahead of me, and it would just make me feel very, very stressed. But I also know that I do better when I focus a little bit, when I have some kind of outline to work off of. And so it goes against my comfort zone to set too much in written form or in a plan, but I know that I work better with it. So if you have the courage or the wherewithal to do that, I think it's helpful. So once we've done that, we draw a card. We draw an oracle card. We've been using cards from this beautiful deck called the Star Codes Astro cards. And we use the information from the card. We draw the card. We look at the card. We get some visceral response within ourselves about the card, and to kind of allow it to wash over us and inform the focus or the question or the intention that we have just set in writing, or as a metaphor for writing. So this is our way of just giving us inspiration, giving us focus, giving us a prompt, a creative prompt, if you will, that allows more information to open up to you, that allows a shift in perspective, perhaps, that opens up to you while we are in our meditative state. And it's no great mystery. It is just a way of giving us that focus, sending out energy, asking for a return message, and allowing the card to be that message. Now, the great thing about this is that it is a singular message for all of our individual questions and intentions and guidance that we seek. And that's why this is a community experience. That's what makes this a community, is that we've chosen to allow that one card to speak to all of our questions, guidance, requests, insights. And I think it's fun. And let's take a look at these cards. Let's make a shuffle. And let's draw a card. Again, I love these cards because the accompanying book to the cards gives a kind of prescription for activity surrendered around the card, activity surrounding the card. And that includes an action. So it gives us an action to think about, or encourages us to perhaps think about taking. And it gives us the challenge that this card and all of its information might bring to us. And it gives us a gift, the gift that this card gives us that is going to allow us to expand and grow, should we choose to take the action and keep in mind those challenges and to rise above them. It's time to shuffle. It's time to draw. And again, it seems to be a little noisy around here this evening. You may have ambient noise going on where you are. And I just encourage us all to remember that ambient noises. Life is happening all around us all the time. So when we are choosing to meditate, perhaps we've sequestered ourselves in a space in our home that's quiet, or that we like to be in a place where we don't have other stimuli. But our real goal is to be able to get to this state, to access this state of stillness, regardless of the external surroundings. So yes, of course, it's easier. It's a little more fun. It's a little more interesting to stay focused and hear that voice from within when it's silent, when we are removed, or when we are sequestered somewhere. But let's not let any intrusion into that subvert or derail our meditation or the intention for our meditation. We need to be able to draw focus, to be clear, to be aware during any type of situation. So yes, of course, it's better that it's quiet, but I know that there's a lot going on around here, stuff going on right outside my window. My dogs may bark, as those of you who have been here know. My husband is out back drilling and sawing something, and so that may happen at any time. But let's just allow that to kind of maybe make a momentary symbol or call to our meditation, but we can grab that back. We can take ourselves and use that moment to actually go a little deeper, to be aware of it, and then to say, hey, I just heard that noise. Perhaps this is my cue to just be more focused and go a little more deeply. So here we go. And we're going to draw the top card. So the reason we draw the top card is so that you don't see me reaching into this deck to grab a card from my own intuition. If we all agree that the top card is one that represents all of us, then the top card is the one that represents all of it. So here we go. Our card for this evening is, and you can see I'm drawing this top card right here, is, oh, interesting. This is one we haven't had before. It is Mercury, and its message is messages. Mercury and messages. I'm going to put the card up for us to take a closer look at while I read about the card. And you can view the card there. Beautiful. There it is. I love the artwork on these cards. I wasn't sure about it in the beginning, and it gets more and more complex and reveals more to me each and every time I look at these cards. So as I read, pay attention to how you feel as I read about the card. Pay attention to how you feel this card is responding to the information that you have put out, how it is responding to the question you may have asked, or the insight that you seek, or guidance that you are looking for. So the card is Mercury, and its message is messages. Mercury symbolizes your mental switchboard, how you think, communicate, and move through the world. The smallest planet rules Gemini and Virgo and is closest to the Sun, completing its orbit in about 88 Earth days. Because it orbits so close, it can only be found in the same sign as the Sun, the one before it, or the one after it. Mercury has a large, dense, molten core, and one day on the planet takes 58 Earth days. Mercury retrogrades 3 times a year for 3 weeks, slowing time so you can remember, review, and reconnect. Our action. It says this with an exclamation point. Communicate. The mood is quick, fast, and cerebral. Look at your situation from many different sides. Be light on your feet and make sure you have all the information you need. If not, be ready to research, investigate, translate, mediate, check your facts, and learn. Follow up on all lines of communication to make sure others understand what you said and you understand what they intended. Publish, broadcast, network, and engage social media. Make the call, submit the resume, send the manuscript. Check all Mercury ruled equipment such as vehicles and communications electronics. Proofread and back up your files. Mythological Mercury could be a trickster when he worked for himself, but he also played the role of psychopomp, diving into the underworld to escort trapped spirits out of it. If you need to go down into your own personal underworld, it may be time to walk with a therapist, a shamanic healer, or other integrous guide into that deep realm. Our challenge. When a quick mind is not connected to the heart, it can cause trouble. Watch out for the busy hamster wheel of the mind, shallow thinking, scattered, dishonest, or glib approaches, and mistakes made when in a rush. Ouch. For me, that is speaking to me directly with a big kind of hammer over my head. The gift is Mercury was the messenger of the gods. Listen deeply to messages of your soul, the conduit to spirit, and become the messenger. So whether Mercury is retrograde or not, when we hear it, I know that a lot of people always get panicked. I know I might tend to respond to that panic in myself, but we know now that this is not a time that everything has to go wrong or that communications have to misfire or not be intercepted, but this is the time to pay attention to those communications more than usual. So it doesn't mean that everything has to go haywire. It just means we want to pay more attention to ensure that it doesn't, or to ensure that we've had the best possible experience in making that communication. So it's a time, as the book says, to follow up, to clarify, to make sure that what we are receiving is what was intended, and what we are intending is received in the way that we are intending it. It's not that hard. It just requires us, perhaps those of us who may like to communicate, but also may be concerned that sometimes we are not heard the way we want to be heard. It's our chance to take power over that communication. I know that in the past, if I have complained, my voice is not heard, I often have to sit back and go, well, did I make the effort to ensure that the message that I was intending is being heard? Sometimes shouting it out loud is not the right delivery method if the person that is receiving the message doesn't like to hear shouting, for instance, as I mean that as an example. So it's our time to review how we are intending our messages, what we would like to say, and are we finding the best, most effective way to deliver it. Not the easiest of messages to receive, but getting a message about messages is an important message. So let's reflect on this. Now, this card, this guidance, this insight that we are getting from this card is speaking to you uniquely and directly. I don't know how it is, but you do. So when we go into meditation tonight, allow your own questions, allow your own responsiveness to what I was reading or what you're seeing on the card to reflect back to you. Allow you to speak to you as we go more deeply. I can't tell you the answer to your questions. You can, however. I can help us guide, help give you guidance, help give us guidance as a community into this space. But only you know the answers, and only your deep voice knows the truth and can give you the truth that you can understand. Whether we hear it on our earth plane is, again, up to you individually. So get comfortable. And that just means finding a space where you feel connected, where you feel yourself, where you feel like you can remain alert and relaxed simultaneously so that you can receive and also exchange information with your deep self. All right. So let's start by paying attention to the breath that is coming in and out of us. It never stops while we're alive, but we oftentimes take it for granted, don't pay attention, and are not aware that this breathing and being aware of our breath and consciously taking those breaths is a way to center ourselves and bring ourselves to alignment or bring ourselves back into focus. So I'm going to take a little drink here of my little green tea concoction, and let us breathe together. Let's inhale through our nose. Really draw in all that air and hold for a moment, and then exhale. Now, before we even close our eyes, become more relaxed every time we inhale and exhale. So let's inhale for that second time. And hold and exhale. Just feel the relaxation taking over. Let's inhale one more time. And as we exhale, you can close your eyes if you would like. You can keep them open if that's how you like to have an open eye meditation. You can stare at the card. But allow your breathing to return to normal, to a natural pace. And I'll keep the card up there. Just breathe and relax. And now that we're comfortable, now that we're breathing comfortably, let's imagine right where our heart is, a view of our essence, that core of us that transcends our physicality. Right in the center of our physical body where our heart chakra is. And if you look quickly at the screen, you can see the little nebula light. And maybe think of that nebula as our essence, just kind of flowing eternally, having no real physical shape, but being completely our truest and deepest self. And again, allow that little vision of that nebula just swirl from the inside of us, right where our heart chakra would be. Now that our body is relaxed, allow that essence. See if you can envision it rising up and out of our physical body. And as it does, the earth world just seems to disappear. And just like that view of the nebula behind the card with the nebula light, we are in this beautiful, dark, but comfortably safe space with our essence and presence. Becoming more and more relaxed, beautiful flowing essence floating so peacefully, so naturally. That beautiful essence is floating in the space we realize is our higher self. We've left our physical body and entered and have risen into our higher self. This is the part of ourselves that I would say is our source of divinity. It is our divinity. It's like an oversoul that cares for us uniquely, that always has our back, that only speaks the truth to us, that is sending us messages always, that is always inviting us to hear what it has to say, or to feel what it has to say. However you receive information, this higher self that we have risen into is caring for us with the truth, but with a compassion that allows us to hear and understand its message. And now that we have risen into this higher self, that's every bit as much of us as this essence that is floating in it, we can hear and we can know that it has a unique message for us. This is what the card has told us for tonight. To listen for those messages, to process those messages, and take action based on those messages. here in this space, allow that higher self to share with you, to deliver, to impart what it has brought you here to its presence, which, yes, is your presence. But allow it to speak its truth, your truth. So you're just allowing you to speak truthfully, honestly, authentically to this earth plane self that has come and has risen into our higher self. And again, only you know what the message is. The message could be coming from the card, or the card could have prompted something deeper that only you know. Allow yourself to experience this information in the way that you know you best can receive it and understand it and be accountable for implementing it. Just allow it to flow through you. You, the nebula, flowing through the heavens as your true essence, your true self. Just for you. How does this voice speak to the intention that you set? Is it giving you more to look for, or is it telling you all that you need to know? Is it giving you an assignment for the week? Or is it giving it to you straight, in truth, with love and compassion? This higher self's voice is the truth. Often the truth that we ignore or deny or squelch in our daily life. But here in this space, we can't do that, and we don't do that. We are here because we have the accountability and courage to know and understand this higher self. And tonight its message is unique and very special. We absorb it, We see ourselves in our mind's eye living it. And now that we've received some information, or opened a perspective, or shifted a way of thinking, thanks to our higher self, let us, as we do each week, make ourselves aware of all the other nebula, all of the other presences that are here together in this space. Even if you're not watching it or participating live, your presence, your essence, your cloud of you, your flow, misty cloud of you is here, sharing, accessing, and aligning with truth and the truth of spirit. Now that we've acknowledged one another and acknowledged the power and strength of this community, we can choose to return to our physical bodies. We can bring that flowing, cloudy nebula back to the space that is being held by that deep and intentional breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in and out. Just imagine that beautiful nebula cloud, that essence of who we are. Just imagine it floating back down into our heart center, where our heart chakra is, floating back down. And as it does, feel the surge of energy through your physical body. Your physical body is now electrified and animated by this presence, this beautiful floating presence. Feel the animation reach every corner of your body, from your toes all the way up your legs and calves and thighs and hips and waist, and your torso and heart and your shoulders and arms. Imagine that buzz of energy. It's not a frenetic energy. It's not a tweaky or twitchy energy. It's a beautiful, calm, centered, focused energy as it moves up through your neck and your chin and your cheeks and your teeth and your nose and your ears and eyes. Feel that surge, that beautiful, gentle surge. Feel it center around your crown, right at the top of your head, giving you life, the life that's always there. Feel the power, feel your courage, feel the inspiration to receive messages that perhaps you weren't open to receiving, but you are now. And feel the courage and the strong inspiration to deliver the message or messages that you perhaps weren't comfortable delivering until now. Feel your power, that power of your own unique way of communicating. And surging with that beautiful energy, let us choose to return together to this space. Let's inhale quickly and exhale quickly. One more inhale quickly and exhale quickly. And one last inhale. Make it quick and exhale quickly. Feel that aliveness. Feel that strength and power. Feel that tingle in your throat chakra, ready to share exactly what it has to share, exactly what you have determined you want to share. And with that, know that whatever you have to say and whatever you are receiving this week, you can do it with gentleness and kindness and love. And know that you are expanding, moving forward for your greater good, for the world's greater good. So it doesn't mean we are without challenge. It doesn't mean that we must remain aware of the receiving and of the giving of communication and information, but that the clarity can only come when we've had the courage to think about our receiving and our delivery, and the courage to shift and make sure that if it's the message that we want heard, we're going to do whatever we can to ensure that it is. I love that. You know that we can never control how someone receives information, but we certainly can do whatever we can to make it as clear, as effective as possible. That's our job as communicators. So I'm so glad that you have chosen to be here to receive the message about giving messages and receiving messages. And let us set those intentions out into the flames right now. I got the one that I've had for me. Going out there, being there. And this is everyone's intention. So whatever you have put out tonight is come and collected in this little slip, and it is going out, gathered, responsive. The universe knows. We've put that exclamation on it. We've put the affirmation on it. We've symbolically said this is important for me and for us this week. There it goes. It's November 1st. We're kicking into high autumn season, and it's a little chilly here in Washington, D.C., which I kind of have enjoyed. And I encourage you to stay warm, to keep this message about messages at the forefront of your consciousness this week. You can come back to this meditation anytime. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. So join us again. Come back, return to affirm what you need to receive about receiving and delivering messages this week. And let us check and see who's with us. Thank you, Kathleen and Sue on Zoom. Remember, you can always check out the spiritualspinister.com website to check out the Zoom link, as well as the links to YouTube and Facebook. And if you scroll down on the homepage, it's also linked directly to YouTube as a playlist number. So you can always catch it right there on the website, thespiritualspinister.com, if you suddenly find yourself unable to find the link to either the Zoom or YouTube or Facebook versions of this meditation. So yes, thank you, Sue. Let's see who else is elsewhere. And again, it's so nice that you joined on this evening. Look at all these people here saying hello. Thank you, Smiley. Hello. Betty Wilson, my mother-in-law. Hello. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for showing your presence here and for communicating with everyone here and with me. I appreciate that very, very much. There's lots of new notifications. Who else is here? Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Are you with us this evening? I know you are at some point. If you're not tonight, love you. Thinking about all of you and all the wonderful things that are happening in this season, and looking forward to more beauty as we move forward. And then I'll say good night. Appreciate you. Happy November. Let us know how those messages have gone this week, how those deliveries have gone. Check it out again if you want to hear more about it. Return to this meditation. Otherwise, I will see you here for our second meditation of November. Beautiful evening. I love you, and be well. Good night.